So the map is Arena, and already I forgot whose home map that was, so let me just quickly check that. If it's even... I think it was Plateau's home map, come to think of it. I wish I've had a different one. Or- Arena it is. And yeah, this is probably the T-West, the YouTuber, streamer, whatnot. Any of the players, if you want to know the rank, exclamation mark rank, and the player's nickname. So we'll see. But let's introduce the teams here. Let us begin with Russia F. Bourbon with the Bulgarians here. That's a cool arena here because they have so many options. They have they are classified as an infantry civilization kind of because they get the militia line units instantly. But they have Prepost, unique building, and to make Conics unique unit, and they have cheaper 50% discount on blacksmith and siege workshop techs, and lovely deer luring, by the way. Good job, Bourbon. Nah, just kidding. We've all been there. And so you could make a halb siege push with success in the late game because of the cheaper siege workshop techs, or even Onager, but I think Bulgarians are missing siege engineers, so their siege Onager or Onager line are struggling a bit more because of that. But yeah, could go cavalry, could go infantry. Has a good answer to Khmer as well with the house. We'll see. I think they have siege engineers. Okay, yeah, in that case the text stacks up nicely. Okay, to the left side we have all other check with the Turks. That could usually mean fast imp into hand cannoneers and bomber cannons, but could also be that all the check wants to drop a castle and go for Janissaries and siege or something, and then work together with Bourbon, the Bulgarians. So we'll see. Okay, Bulgarians have siege engineers. Okay, but then they have siege Onager as well, don't they? I think they do. We'll all check with the Turks here. We'll see what he comes up with here. And then the south side, Mr. Moon with the Burmese. I hope he got the memo that Arambai have been kind of nerfed, so double castle Arambai isn't really that much of a thing anymore. But Burmese are all options. They have fantastic infantry with +1 attack for each age. They have lousy archers and skirmisher line units, lacking both Castle Age and Imperial Age armor upgrades. But then they have battle elephants with a unique technology that is more pierce armor, and yeah, definitely have some options there. As for Plateau's side, we have Benkute with the Cumans in the pocket. Probably gonna go for a 2TC Feudal Age boom here and then overwhelm the enemy with Kipchaks or cavalry or everything, and a fast Imperial Age behind it. Cumans don't get stonewalls, but on Arena, of course, they do, because all of the civilizations do. But yeah, gonna be an extended Feudal Age here, I guess. And then T-West with the Khmer on the top side here against the Turks. Interesting. Khmer won't usually go for a castle, because why would they? They wouldn't be making ballista elephants other than for the memes of it. So if Wallachek goes for a castle up, it's likely that T-West doesn't have the stone for a castle to hold up. But yeah, Khmer very often seen on the arena. You don't need buildings to pick up, so you can have a very smooth transition to Castle Age and Imperial Age because of that. And finally, Sir Baron with the Mongols flank here for Plateau. Oh, cutting with ballista elephants, that's true. Okay, maybe there's reason to make a Khmer castle after all. You could cut through here with ballista elephants and sneak in. I've seen it once on an arena, and it was quite successful. Yeah, Sir Baron down here with the Mongols. Eventually going to make the Mangudai most likely, but fully upgraded camels and also amazing siege. And as my friend Dennis or Ogedai 1 usually likes to do, you could even take the unique technology for Mongols on Arena that doesn't remove pop space when you delete the house, so that you could delete your house and have more spaces within in your starting walls. That's probably the only usage of that tech. I played Mongols a lot, and I've never researched nomads. Never. Yeah, I think it's got over here with the fleece into safety here. It's not drunk casting today. I'm just gonna grab a beer because I played a 2-hour concert this evening, so I need to relax a bit. There's the fuel age in for the humans. We got to see the second town center on the almost on the wood line. I mean, I guess there's a debate on whether you place the woodline TC straight on the woodline or not, but to me this is just screaming for inefficiency with one tile in between. But it minimizes the walking distance for the builders to build it as well. Yeah, we could definitely do Scribbler. That is cool. Okay, so with that uptime with humans, you can already tell that they are going for the full H boom, or whatever we should call it. While TOS, it's you see his house that. Wait, that doesn't add up. How are you housed at? How can you be pop capped at 23 plus 1? That has to be a glitch. Because when it's flashing like that, that means you're pop capped or housed. So that's confusing. But yeah, a cancellation on the way for TOS, but he's making it stable. So he's not necessarily going to go straight into a 3 DC boom here with the Khmer with this quick uptime. And then we have the humans that could make rams in the fuel lanes already, so they could actually ram through the enemy sides or something to. It's probably going elephant plus corp. Yeah, but with 23 pop, you can sustain elephants with that. Look at these lovely Khmer farms, by the way. He's making scouts. But actually, of course, elephant and scorp is ridiculously strong for the Khmer. Blacksmith market for Mr. Moon with a remise here going up at what will likely be 28 villagers, 20 pop. And all the bourbon going up with 30 pop here. I guess there's some idle time to be considered here. Idle TC for Mr. Moon since he's up significantly later. A bit off with the food luring, maybe. Ah, so that's why T-West went up this road. T-West, stable, and now into more TCs. He's getting slung by the humans here. That's so nasty. Sling can be so strong. Our scouts meta in arena TGs, they are useful to take map control and control the relics in TGs as well. Full slinging. We can see the sling stats here as well, that Benguta has already sent 578 resources, while Bourbon has been using the market to get up. So that means, effectively, that T-West can not only do, but he can also produce some military from the sling here. He's not going to invest a lot into his own eco here. It's just going to be slung into maybe an early Imperial for the Khmer here or something. Oh, it's so nasty. When the rules don't say anything about slinging, you can do these kinds of things. Well, check not with the path. Imperial is dropping a castle at home to cover the gold, and he might suspect that something is going on here since he's placing it in this strategic defensive spot. You could wall to either side, and then you keep the aggression out. Mongols with the castle, so we can see Mangudai here. Maybe humans will link the Mongols to to the Mangudai as well. Who knows? It's funny how the military API is just at 0 for Benguta and Olanchek because they're maybe just dealing eco right now. And in the case of Benguta, slinging resources to main Khmer here. Okay, where are you going? Seriously, where are you going? Scouts and knights. Random villagers. That's a fast imp for villagers. Maybe... Is Russia slinging as well? Not really. Bulgarians fast imp. What's that gonna do? What's the idea? There are 32 villagers imp for Bulgarians? What the hell is going on? Fast imp siege ramps could be, but you won't have economy to support it, right? More tables for US here is also receiving sling. Maybe we should actually follow the sling here. Mr. Moon is also sending a little bit of resources. While Olanchek is now forward with, he's gonna add monks, and he has the Janissaries to push here as well. That's right, worked against Viper on a team game by lower elo player. Nice. Janissaries are out, indeed, but so are the Khmer Knights without upgrades, mind you. They get husband riddle, so at least they can outrun the gunpowder boys. Okay, I don't like the texture here. I want to see. Janissaries are definitely good against the smaller knights, and especially with the knights not having any upgrades at all. Another castle here for Mr. Moon, so Mr. Moon is going for the Arabai. Arabai, and then it's gonna be the siege ramps! Wow! I mean, it's cheaper. It's half price. So you get to siege ram with Bulgarians for 650 food, right? Wow. Just wow. Okay, this is gonna be hard to follow this game. Some knights out here, they're gonna snipe Olanchek's mob, but they're still lacking the +2, so they can't engage the Janissaries. Look at their sling here. T-West is slinging, Benguta is slinging quite a bit to T-West here, for the 3,500 or so. Yeah, exactly. 150 food cap ram, 500 for siege ram, 650 food total. That's what I meant, if that was unclear. There are Magudai out, though, to take out. Yeah, the walls were even set before they moved this way. But I think it Magudai counter both. Yeah, but the Ironbite currently in a slightly larger number, though. So if the Rams tank Magudai, the Ironbite could maybe get some hits in. But obviously, Magudai... They don't have ballistics yet, though, but Magudai should still be able to hit more efficiently. Look at this! 6 freaking siege ram and 15 Ironbite. I haven't seen this before, that's cool. Gonna hand it to the arena clones. They are pretty smart in terms of with sneaky plans. What's the Knights count? Look at this production! Almost 5k resources belong to the player who also set an eco of his own. And yeah, focus on the Janissaries now. They have a nice point here, but not a full one on the stone here. But Olanchek gonna lose some big numbers here now. Battle of Vienna colorized. Yeah, rip Janissaries, and but Olanchek is on 3 TC economy now, so it's not like it's Turk all-in fast imp where you can't afford to lose units. He's dropping the 4th TC as well. He might even, in theory, beat Khmer to the next stage. Because of this investment, TOS is receiving lots of resources, obviously, but it's not probably making that many of his own. And okay, they can't hit the Mongols. Let's just go hit the Cumans instead, because they are still feudal age. how does feudal age... how is feudal age Cuman supposed to hold off against this? We have 27 knights granted for T-West, but the Arrow Boy are in scary numbers as well. Just break in already. I think they've seen through the sling strategy by now. They're going for the pocket now. Still in the fuel age. And the siege ramps even area damage here, so you break through like paper here. Only siege ramps, for fuck's sake! 43 villagers, 32 pop past imp for Bourbon into siege ramps. Oh, yoy. Can't even stonewall behind. Good point, actually. I didn't think about that. So the knights are here to try and focus down ramps, but the Arabai will also take good fights against the knights. Why aren't the Arabai over here, though? They're trying to salvage the rest of the siege fans, I guess, but they should be over here, I think. But make a conscious choice as well that you have enough numbers to snipe the Arabai here. Nah, not too sure. Arabai won't be dealing with ramps if for some reason the opponents should try and go for ramps against it, or because that's basically Cuban's only option. Battering ram in the field edge here. Do the real clowns even know about fast siege rams? Yeah, they probably do. They probably do. Looks like T-West and Sir Baron have been able to contain this push though, so good defense, good work, good teammates. And now the army count 46 to 25 here. And T-West, just with massive presence in the middle, is also going for some ram-style play here. Maybe it's going to be right back at them now. With like probably going in soon, maybe? Yeah, I think we're going to get those. Score difference is huge, but that's probably also KD playing in here. So solid numbers, and army lead, of course. Army numbers playing in here as well. Still siege ramps, 8 siege ramps for green. Are they gonna? Yeah, now they're gonna try the other side. I love it. They're gonna contest the middle. Let's have a look at green scouting here. Yeah, he sees the siege workshop here, and he's gonna take that one out. I think this is one game that just has to go straight to YouTube because it's fast team siege ramps with Khmer now in here. How did they get in? No, oh, Ladeshek, did you open the gate? Ah, disaster! Oh, this is going to be so bad and no Imperial Age in, but at least T-West might be losing quite a few knights here before getting to Cavalier, but he's going to go to Cap Ram and Siege Ram with Khmer here as well. Look at the sling stats as well. Still, feudal age for Bengute here. For Bengute and 90 villagers and counting in the feudal age here for the Cumans. Probably has the farm eco of a lifetime here and just slinging everything he got to the teammate. It should show up on the side here, for some reason it doesn't. And T-West basically not managing eco now, just managing army forward. Looking at the APMs here. Russia a bit more stressed out of everything here. Look at the Bulgarians boom though, 5 TCs now for the Bulgarians. Only 50 stone for TCs for Bulgarians, so at the very least you have an easy way back into the game that way. And then the KD ratio for T-West is 104 to 66. 0-0 for they didn't lose anything to that push. Still on those 2 TCs and counting. Yeah, more siege ramps, but with this amount of knights on the field soon to be Cavalier for TUS, that shouldn't be an issue. The Arambai are an issue though, because they could... they deal less direct damage now, but their missed arrows, they deal damage as well, so they will be doing better against melee units like this. Imperial H for both Khmer and for who am I kidding? For Sir Baron here. With Mangudai, 24 Mangudai, straight to Elite Mangudai and Bracer here. While TUS is going to Pikes, I guess that's going to support his eventual ram push wherever those rams went. They're pulling the gold builders away from the Arambai raids. And Mr. Rude also extending the economy at home here with Oh, there's lots of green here. Bourbon here with the siege drums and yeah, still producing them. That's been the only unit he's been producing. Maybe that's going to reveal the stats here with in the end that the most produced unit was the siege drums. Yes, T-West indeed. I'm assuming there aren't that many T-Wests out there. Magadai, Elite Magadai against Castlage Iron Bible. The Elite Magadai should win that any day with their full upgrades. And we also have Cavalier now on the way for T-West with the... only 16 knights to benefit from that, but remember the Eco KD that T-West got inside Ologic base, 19 for KD. Well, Ologic is a nice army flow as well. It does have his 4 TCs. After all, in Russia, they have almost... they're down 30, 40 villagers. Maybe it's not the case. Cubans going Catholic, realizing that maybe it's time to stop slinging and start contributing to the games in other ways. He sent 13.2k resources. Ridiculous. Sent to both players. In fact, that's probably how Sir Baron was able to afford Elite Magadai that early as well. Got some sling from the humans. Yeah. I mean, there are more Arambai than there are Magadai. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And after the recent nerf against buildings and whatnot, they still are good against masses of melee units, or yeah, like knights or camels, because of the mist projectiles dealing damage. Still stables in the middle for T-West as well, but not much longer with siege ramps and Ironbite to push them down here. Let's see the Cuman's resources here. Okay, not gonna... you could actually go straight imp here, but I think it's still slinging, so... Full sling! Absolutely ridiculous. And shows to prove why slinging is usually banned in tournaments. But in this case, it at least gave us an entertaining setup of a game. 0-0 KD for Cumans, mind you. Didn't lose a single builder. I'm surprised they're not pushing the Cumans more, because it's providing a lot to the economy of the teammates here. So Baron still only 57 builders, right? But now also with the 4th castle to pump out those Magadai numbers. Yeah, so T-West is losing production potential. Behind this, Cubans are going Imperial Age, because they have been booming like crazy the whole game anyway. Just look at this beautiful farm eco. That's something else than the Khmer farms going on over here. Ah, never mind, they're quite fine as well. The Khmer farms placements have been officially expired. Getting some decent lag here because capture age and late game and apparently heated laptop here, but actually let's just fix this one. Could help maybe a little bit. It's not that big of a difference, I think. Well, it could also be a little in-game lag because it's Russia versus what I presume is an American-based team. Ooh, but look at the mass of Elite Magadai. We still have Burmese in the Castlage here. Well, I'll check with some ridiculous numbers of army here. But Camels against Elite Magadai, good luck. And just a little split there to try and avoid fire. Mr. Boone, sorry, with 78 Iron Buy. Are you kidding me? It's a ridiculous number of Iron Buy. Heavy Camel for Oladeshek against the Khmer Cavalry, mainly here, also the last armor, while Ballistics is coming in for Bourbon. Why Ballistics? What's the plan? Is he going with skirmishers now? Or is he going Imperial Age archers with a bullier? That would be something. So it's going skirmishers against the, I guess, elite skirmishers. 352 to 321 eco. Russia F with a better eco now behind this, but you have to deal with the ridiculous mass of elite Magadai. Currently, you don't really have a response to that, so I guess that's why the skirmishers. Oh, but your barrels luring the enemies to castle fire. We should get some good trades now because of the cover fire from the castles. Castle with ballistics, so hitting more accurately as well. Cumin now going for the stars. 5 tables up already. They just need to make an opening now to get some massive raids in. But the US is kind of expecting this as well with all of the barracks here for the halberdiers. It was preparing for that against the cavalry of Oladeshek anyway. Elite skirmishers should deal with halberdiers though, so we'll be needing something more here. Now to try and pressure the Cuman's pocket again. Still stinging, or what's going on here? Has been stinging 17.7k resources. Actually sending more to the Mongols than to the T-West here by far. No castles going up in the middle for both teams. And they both have army to protect it as well. Here comes Bourbon with the siege rams and elite skirmishers though. Elite skirmishers less of a threat now with Ben-Gute with the hussars coming this way. Then again there's the camels of Oladeshek to try and snipe some of the hussars before stuff happen. And somehow the skirmishers here are blocking the castle foundation of Oladeshek, but with this castle most likely going up, maybe Oladeshek doesn't want to commit to that castle. Crazy game. Almost, yeah, 81 elite Magadai, almost up to closing up on 100 elite Magadai here. And Bourbon pushing in with the siege trams, but how is Russia F gonna raid here? Yeah, we have Turks hussars as well, so Oladeshek could get some nice raids in here. There's no sign of a trade for either side here of the teams. So they will be, they'll be using the market here to get resources, and gold is going to become an issue in not too long here. Another castle for Mongols. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many castles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 castles. And 1 relic for each team here in total. Oh boy. Absolutely ridiculous. So T-West with the soon-to-be siege rams maybe for the Khmer. He has a ridiculous population behind this as well. Mr. Moon now on the way to the Imperial Age. But is it going to be enough to hold off here? If the halberdiers just get close enough, they will be dealing with Iron Buy as well. And military stats here are similar. Russia economy with their massive booms behind this, but now it's definitely Plateau that is on the offensive here. Even a random monk here helping in the efforts. This castle is going to go down though for Bourbon, and then Oladeshek's castle will be going up as going down as well to the rams here. We need siege ram for the Khmer, but that's on the way here. What's going down here? Probably someone saying there are 60 elite Magudai down here and they are about to kill me. Please help. Mr. Moon has been focusing exclusively on Arba here, but is now making battle elephants, and his teammate is pulling up as well to keep the bases safe here. North side, this is where the biggest fight is going on. So many units from each team here battling away, but could at first glance look like Russia F have the better end HP wise here. Alright. Start out for Oladechek, struggling for gold maybe. Let's see the stats here. Let's see the Cubans sling 20.4k resources. Absolutely ridiculous. No, still 7 more gold minus for Oladechek, so it's actually going to be Plateau running out of gold here first, but they seem to have set up for trade here because the markets are up. So if they can stabilize the trade route, that's somehow working the US to the market here, so that is conceivable that they are able to get some gold income through trading. What's the case for Russia? After they have the markets as well, but yeah, trading arena easier said than done. You essentially need the walls up to protect it, but they have the markets as well. But neither team has any trade runs going. I think let's see if we can find the trade. Yeah, they're making a few trade units here, but nothing too crazy just yet. So, I mean, I hear siege ramps, but I don't see them. I can't siege the ramps. But there's definitely siege ramps pushing away somewhere. We have a little bit of trade routes going, probably for both sides, but good luck walling off and securing your trade routes with all the action going down here. I'm just gonna try one thing. I want to see if I let the playback run for a bit and then go back into spectating in capture H. I don't think it should make a huge difference, but let's see, maybe it just fucks everything. I don't think it just try to catch up. It's just catching up every time. That's a bummer, but it's very likely that there was some in-game lag anyway for this game with all the stuff going on and the fact that they are at different parts of the world. Oh boy. Siege ramps and Halberdier is about to kill a castle here. And Bengutu with the Cuban Hussar spam here, Halberdier spam from the Khmer. Very good trash combination here while they're waiting for the trade gold to kick in here. So, good calls. What's going on south? This is where the Magadai are at, but now they're going to run into Burmese battle elephants and probably the unique technology that gives Burmese extra pierce armor. At least that would make sense in this situation against the ridiculous masses of Magadai. Elite skirmishers, good addition as well to the Magadai masses. But look at all these castles, 5 castles and counting, 8 castles total for Sir Baron here. So he's been with ridiculous production of Magadai here. I have a feeling this is going to be a long but epic game here. It's definitely no clear winner just yet. Plateau with serious masses of art, Russia F with the stronger. Maybe not actually. 95 Elite Mangala, you don't easily deal with that if the player is like very properly behind it. And the Plateau are actually putting both sides here. They have Mangala on one side and then the two on the other. So maybe they are slowly gaining ground. They obviously need to stop Russia F's trade here, but the flow of the Halb siege push here should keep Oladeshek busy here, and Oladeshek made the making Hussars here. Turks, after all, they don't get Halberd, they don't get elite skirms, and etc. etc. So when Turks are out of gold, which is the case for Oladeshek here, most likely, unless trade is running. Yes, trade units running now, but yeah, Turks really would need gold to work. Cross going up, they won't survive long against siege tramps, sadly. That's just a few pounds away, but good efforts from Bourbon to keep going here. 4,000 score now, and look to the south side here. Humans are raids entering together with the elite Magadai here, and some traps pushing. Yeah, this is beginning to look good for Plateau here. They have 4 times the armies of Chef now, a team that still has a stronger economy, all things considered, but they obviously need numbers to contest the enemy army numbers now. See, about to enter Logic base here now, and severely hurt the economy of Logic and maybe diminish the numbers of Hussar raids possible. And then again, with the Halberdiers out here for T-West, it also means that the Turks Hussars have the huge. South side, this is still being constructed here, but that's not gonna make it for long, I think. What's with the Maglai? Still almost 100 freaking elite Maglai out on the field now. How do you even counter that at this point? Russia have 50 ability to 170 something. Well, still in north with the main star spam here, and the PowerPoint that is in capturation at this point. But again, I think there might have been some in-game like. I could go back into the thing I really like have handy as well. So gonna keep this. Yeah, Cuban's Hussars, they are the fastest Hussars in the game as well, moving faster than a generic one, or rather 5% faster than Hussars with husbandry. Trade units from both sides, but now with the siege transitors and bringing all objects side here, they're gonna Plateau are gonna kill off quite a bit of the trade of Russia Ep, and eventually Russia Ep are going to hold here. You can see they've been buying resources as well with the trade income gold here. 3 relics for Ben Guseo, that's boosting the gold income as well, and yeah, the only, or at least the main gold source for Russia F now is in fact the trade. They're not mining gold anymore. There's probably not much gold left to mine. Oh, where's the KD stats? Here we go. And to the south side we... oh my... freak. 91 Elite Magadai. And yeah, Siege Ram for the Mongols, maybe Drill Siege Ram, maybe. What a game. The GG is called. And the sling is OP for Plateau, but looks good. We're gonna look at the sling stats eventually. 248 Magadai created throughout the game, and Logic with a 384 Hussars total. What an absolute ridiculous game. I'll split this one up into separate graphs as well, so you can see these army dips and stuff going on here. You'll note that the only army for Bengute for a long time is the starting scouts. There's no army line here at all, and then eventually in the Imperial Age, sending out these hussars. Mongols with a Mangudai, steady solution there, and then fast imp siege ram for Bourbon. Amazing. It almost worked out. They just didn't manage to break into the humans at time. At that time, the West had too many knights, and Baron also had the Mangudai that counters both the Armbai and the siege to an extent. Absolutely ridiculous KD for Sir Baron with the Mongols hitting and running with the Mangudai to 624 to 169. Kill death ratio raises 25 buildings, only one loss. And overall, great ecos here. I guess this doesn't collect stung resources, so humans here slinging, sending to 21,000, more than 21,000 resources with the 2 TC investment. Sling is OP by the looks of it. You can see the APM chart here as well. Probably quite low for the humans, just tending to eco. And yeah, some spikes here. Their highest APM actually passed 200 for the Arabai player, and Mongols surprisingly low, even with the movement on the Mega Drive, but still an interesting graph to look at to get an impression of the in-game actions happening that has to do with your hotkey setup and how you do stuff as well, of course. Because every time you click a key or an action, it counts. But GG. Wow.